Hello and welcome back to a very special episode of Idiots with Class. I'm your host, Jeremiah.
I'm also the host, Scott.
Today we are going to take a quick tour inside one of Alabama's premier pipe lounges, the Briary.
Well, hey guys.
Hey.
Skip, how are you?
I'm great, man. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been doing wonderful.
Yeah?
Things are great. Yes.
So good to be back in this
Yes.
shop. I love this store.
I bought one of these Briary pipes last time.
Yes, sir.
It was awesome. So, for those that don't know, can you tell me kind of the story behind your Briary pipes here?
Yeah, that's kind of a neat situation. I had this wild hair that I thought I should make pipes, and I started looking into it, and I wanted to find somebody who had a ready-to-go system set up with the equipment, you know, the lathe and all that good stuff. So, one of my sales reps told me about a guy in Ohio, and I go to see this guy in Ohio, and he says, well, here's the deal. I can make you a really good price on the lathe and all that good stuff, but you got to take all these other things. And I'm thinking, well, okay, we sell lots of inexpensive pipes, so that's not a problem.
Yeah.
How many do you have? Oh, a little over 2,000. They were very old, and that's why you noticed how well it smoked. It's hard to believe an inexpensive pipe like this is smokes that well, but the guy I bought them from had them about 20 years. But when he bought them, that guy had them about 20 years.
Oh, wow.
And now I've had them a pretty good while.
Yeah.
So they're probably at the minimum in the 60-year-old category.
Wow.
What they do is they sandblast it, and then they go around and lightly sand the high spots off.
Okay.
So that it doesn't have a prickly feel or anything else. And so it's a little different look. But I can't replace these pipes. I'm not really too sure what we're going to do when these are gone. And it's only going to take us a few more months. And all 2,000 of them will be gone. We can't find something of this quality that's not 80 bucks.
Right.
Yeah. So, I'm going to take this one. I like this
Great.
one. Yeah.
Great.
like
It works for me.
I really like this one, but I also really like this one.
We have this thing called both.
Yeah.
There are no rules against buying multiples.
rules.
Yeah, we don't stop our customers from buying more than one pipe at a time. You know, because I was probably 8 when it happened. I grew up in North Carolina, and the area that I lived in was very tobacco oriented. There was a place that we discovered in the woods that had probably a 12-foot high pile of tobacco stems. And I was fascinated with this because all around this pile were trees. And they were big trees. They were not trees that grew up overnight. You could not access it with a truck. So clearly that pile was very old and had been there for a long time. And we used to climb up and slide down. But that natural tobacco smell has stuck in my head all these years. And I've never lost my fascination for that type of a tobacco aroma, you know. And so that was one of the ideas behind the creation of Ephemeris. Whenever we blend this, I will probably have to stop by and stick my nose in that jar at least 3 times during this process. Totally natural, nothing added to it. Nothing but Virginias. There are 3 different types of Virginias in here, and we bought them from Sutliff. Just before they went out of business. We bought all that tobacco from Sutliff. and it makes an amazing blend. It has a lot of natural sweetness to it, which I think is very impressive. Virginias are more responsive to changing from the marrying process and the aging than any of the other tobaccos that you can think of. So the longer it sits around as it is, the better it is. It's already over a year old based just on that label, and there's no question about it. I can literally smell the difference. So we've been experimenting with this. In fact, the next thing that's coming up will be at the end of next month. We'll have the Ephemeris with Perique for all the vapor lovers out there.
Very cool.
No matter what it turns out to be, after it's aged for this length of time, another 3 months go by, it'll be better. 3 months makes it acceptable. 6 months makes it fabulous. And the only aromatic tobacco we have done is dandelion, and dandelion is excellent, tastes good, smells good, is good.
So are you more of a cigar guy or a pipe?
No, I like pipes a lot better than I do
you?
cigars.
So if you were stuck on a deserted island and you could have one, even if it's not in production anymore, if you could have one pipe tobacco, unlimited supply of it.
We've already talked about it. It's the Ephemeris. I just love natural Virginias, and I always have. I started out, that was the first thing I ever had.
I think it being tied to nostalgia of your childhood is kind of cool. We also talk about pairings a lot on our show, like, you know, coffee with this tobacco or whiskey with that tobacco. Is there any favorite pairings that you have, like a drink of some sort, water, tea, something, anything really? That what's one of your favorites, I guess?
I'm actually not much of a consumer of alcoholic beverages, but I like an occasional beer, and I love Pacifico. It's a light beer, and to me it still has taste, and so when given a choice, that's what I would grab, and therefore, if I'm going to pair it with anything, it's probably going to be Pacifico, whether it makes any sense or not.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Otherwise, I could just get a glass of water or tea. I love tea. I can do that.
Sweet tea or hot tea?
I like sweet tea. I'm a Southerner, dude.
American tea, not the
I'm not a funny British dude.
So being here for 25 years, you probably had some interesting people that have come in and out. What would you say was maybe one of the most interesting or famous people have come in? Besides us, I mean, obviously top of the list, but your second most famous person.
You shot down my answer. John Hanna. John Hanna has been here. Reuben Studdard. He'll come in just every now and then. Oddly, he's a very reserved person, and it amazes me that he got as far as he did because he really doesn't want people paying any attention to him. He liked to come get his cigars in here. He was kind of fun to talk to.
I noticed you had a book on the wall from Eugene Sledge.
Well, he was certainly one of the most interesting people that shot
That
here.
was okay. You have my. I'm a history guy, so you have my attention.
I had no idea what an important fixture he was in World War II history. No idea. He was just this guy that came in and bought tobacco from me. And so I always wore a Marine hat one day, and he says, well, I've just finished writing this book. Would you like me to bring you a copy? Yes, please. I would absolutely love this. So he autographs this book, and he comes down and gives it to me. And I can truthfully tell you that is the only book I've ever read multiple times.
Really?
It is good. It is really good. I mean, he writes it as though he was a fly on the wall. He never did anything. But we all know that's not true. I went down to Montevallo where he had taught for years, and the Marines were putting a plaque down in this courtyard area, and they were telling everybody about Eugene Sledge. This other guy who was there, he was the producer for the Band of Brothers. And he says, and then one day I had this conversation with the guy that was in charge of Easy Company. And he says, are you ever going to do anything about the South Pacific? And he said, well, actually, that's in the works as we speak. It's about Dr. Sledge. And this guy just snapped to attention, saluted, and he says, he was one of the great American heroes. And, you know, who knew? Right. You know, I had no, he was very quiet, you know, he didn't say all that much. I could not imagine living through what he survived. Right. You know, you read that book and it's like, oh my God. Because, you know, it's stuff like laying on a beach wearing all your Marine uniform and gear and crap. You have Japanese people shooting at you, and if you stand up, you're dead.
Right.
And so they had to just lay there, and they say that the temperature got up to about 110 to 115 degrees, and they're wearing this stuff, and they ran out of water. So yeah, we've had a few interesting people come in.
Yeah, I'd say so. So what's the next 5 to 10 years look like here?
Well, I hope that we can continue to come up with great ideas about tobacco like that, particularly with the loss of subtleness. We intend to continue to use, we're going to use a lot of that Virginia that I bought for the Ephemeris for other things. We're not going to, it's not strictly, it wasn't purchased only for Ephemeris and Dandelion. You know, we want to be able to make other things, because we have a lot of continental tobaccos in stock that we're going to use for, you know, to put Latakia in it or any type of Oriental. We can keep on doing this kind of stuff.
Well, Skip, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, we appreciate
Love
it.
this place. Every time we're in the area, we try to stop by. I love the vibe, the ambiance.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Great selection of tobacco and pipes, and you can hang out and smoke them. And
Yep.
And I think you need to open one of these in Florida.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be great.
So,
Yeah, I think that's out of my
it's about a.
field house now. And I don't
If you guys ever in the area, stop by, check out the Briary. It's a great place. Tell them the idiot sent you. It'll probably get you absolutely nothing, but
Make you look cooler.
It'll make us look cool, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. If you've not checked out Ephemeris, definitely check it out. It is a really good blend. It's about to be, you know, added with some Perique, which would be the vapor. I think you said to end all vapors out there. I think that's quote Skip. But check it out. It's definitely worth it. He's got a website. Check it out there, or just come down here and get it. It's way better.
Man, I thoroughly enjoyed this place.
Right? Yeah.
The ambiance is great. The lounge?
Yes.
The lounge was amazing. I want one of those for the house.
at
Leather
least
couches,
one to visit.
wood walls, wood floors, bookshelves. Just a nice place to hang out and be friends, and nobody treats you like you're an idiot. Everyone loves you, respects you. It's great.